Welcome or welcome back to the Variety Pack podcast. I'm your host, Rashad, and today I wanted to talk about some of my favorite Naruto Jutsus. Some of my favorite Naruto Jutsus. But before we start, I want to tell you guys, follow me on my Facebook at the Variety Pack Podcast. Follow me on my Instagram at the Variety Pack Podcast. Follow me on my Twitter at the Variety Pack Podcast. Follow me on my TikTok at Rashad the Variety Pack. Well, without further ado, let's start the show. Okay, let's get this show on the road. So, the first jutsu I want to talk about is the Vanishing Rasengan. And Boruto created this jutsu, on a whim because he wanted to get Sasuke to become his master. So he made it kind of, on accident. But when you see this jutsu in action, I love it because it, that element of surprise. Even if you see Boruto, he pull it out and you see him throw it and you see it disappear, you have no idea where it's going to come out at. You know what I'm saying? You just, you have no idea where it's going to come out at. So, it's that unpredictability. Even if you see him throw it and you see it disappear, you're going to be like, oh, where is it going to come out at? You can't calculate, you can't pinpoint where it's going to come out at. So it's going to surprise you, And the fact that he was able to add lightning, the lightning release to the regular Rasengan to create the Vanishing Rasengan, that's, Boruto is a genius, for a reason. So I like it because, it's that unpredictability in battle. You know what I'm saying? Think of the Momoshiki when the Kages had to go rescue Naruto and they had to battle Momoshiki. And Boruto helped them get out of a jam because he used the Vanishing Rasengan. Momoshiki, he saw Boruto throw it. He saw it disappear, but Momoshiki, he got arrogant and was like, oh, that jutsu not gonna reach me, yada, yada, yada. But lo and behold, it came back and it knocked him. It knocked him down because he was arrogant. He like, oh, the jutsu can't even reach me, so ha, ha, ha. But then it disappears, then it reappears, and then it knocked him out, knocked him off. And he was able to, Boruto doing that maneuver, he was able to get the Kages out of a tight spot. And then we see him using it in the Boro fight when Team 7 had to go and rescue Naruto. And he used it to set up Sarada for her Chidori. And so, you see Boruto using it in different situations in battle, to fool the opponent, to trick the opponent. And that's one of the main components why I like it, because it's unpredictable. He throws it, it disappears, and it reappears. And, that's why I love it, man. That's why it's definitely one of my favorite jutsus in the Naruto franchise, and I'm excited to see how Boruto uses, how is he going to use it in the time skip, or if we are going to see it in the time skip, which I hope we do in some capacity, because man, I thoroughly enjoy seeing my man Boruto use the vanishing Rasengan, man. I definitely enjoy it. And the next one I want to talk about is none other than the Shadow Clone Jutsu. Now, we've seen the Shadow Clone Jutsu all through the Naruto, franchise, thanks to it being, one of Naruto's favorite moves or favorite jutsus, that and the Rasengan. So we see this dude spamming all the time. And the one thing I noticed that if he doesn't pull out his Shadow Clone Jutsu, that really means that you're not that much of a threat to him. Because, case in point, in the Delta battle, he didn't pull out one Shadow Clone Jutsu for her at all. None. But in the then we also see him pull it out for the very first time in I believe it's the first episode or the second episode of OG Naruto, when he pulls it out to save Iruka from an enemy. He pulls it out to save Iruka, and he made thousands of them to save Iruka. So yeah, and we see him spam it. Like I said, if he don't use it in battle against you, that means you're not that much of a threat, because he uses it in almost every battle. But then you have Boruto on the other hand. He can't spam as much as his dad, because he don't have the chakra reserves like his dad. So you see Boruto on the other hand, he can only use like 4. I believe it's 4. So while we can see Naruto, he spams it and he can overwhelm his opponent with the sheer numbers of how many clones he has. He can overpower you, where in Boruto's case, he can't make thousands like his dad. So he has to be more strategic with how he uses it, and he really has to put his mind to work at how he uses it. And you see in different battles, like in the Owl battle, he used it, and that's speaking of the Owl battle, that's one of his best fights to me. Him versus Owl, when he just he basically soloed Owl, and he was using the clones and hopping from drone to drone, and using the clones to stay in the air or whatever. So but we seen Boruto have to, like I said, he has to use it more strategically. And in the Owl battle, he used it perfectly. And that's just one example I wanted to use. But I'm hoping in the future, Boruto can grow to use more than just 4. Maybe he can use like 10 or maybe like 15. I don't think he'll never be able to spam like thousands like his father. But so I just like that you can see, on one hand, you see Naruto, he spams it and he could just overwhelm his opponents with the sheer numbers. But then you got Boruto on the other hand, where he can only use a couple of them, and where he has to be more, has to use more strategy with it, and one thing I like about the Shadow Clone Jutsu is when whatever the Shadow Clones learn, they can bring it back to you, so that's what I like. Whatever they learn, or whatever, they can bring it back to the main body, and it becomes your information as well. So I like that aspect of the Shadow Clone Jutsu, man. And So, and Naruto, he made the juice. He put in worked with the Jutsu and did his thing. And then you see, Boruto, he doing his thing with it. But yeah, like I said, I like how you have, the two father and son, using it in different ways. One has sheer volume of clones, Naruto, and one has to be, be selective and, be a little bit more strategic with his. So I like how you have these two different ways of how they use the jutsu and, how they, yeah, I like that, man. So, Shadow Clone Jutsu, man. So on to the next one. The Flying Rising technique, aka also the Flying Thunder God. So, as we know, the Flying Thunder God technique was, made by second Hokage himself, Triple OG, Tobirama. And he actually killed Madara's brother with the jutsu. He actually killed Madara's brother with the jutsu. Yeah, man. Yeah. Then Minato, he learns it, and he kind of takes it up. He kind of takes it up another level. So Tobirama introduced us to it, and he killed Madara's brother with it. And then you got Minato, he learns it, and he takes it he takes it worldwide, international, baby, cause yeah. And then you have the thing with the jutsu is you have these markers that you have, you just place anywhere in the world. As long as you have a marker, you can go to the place in an instant, pretty much teleporting. So Minato, all he got to do is just put his markers all, go to different places, in the Naruto, in the Naruto verse. And as long as he has a marker at the specific place where he's trying to go, he can just get there in an instant. So, I like that, man. Just imagine you can, the Flying Thunder God in the real world, man. So that, you can just, oh yeah, I got a marker in Africa. I'll be back, Mom. I'm finna go visit Africa, or I'm finna go visit, Rome, Italy, Paris, France, just because I have a Flying Rising marker in this specific place. Yeah. But yeah, Minato definitely took it to another level, and then we see in the time skip, Two Blue Vortex, Boruto, he comes back with the Flying Thunder God. So, so Boruto, he learned his grandfather's jutsu, even though he's like, oh, I'm not as good with it as he is. So, yeah, man. So shout out to Tobirama creating it, Minato taking it to another level. Even Tobirama's like, man, you faster than me with that, with the jutsu. Then we got Boruto, bringing it to his era. I know his granddad's proud, like, yeah, my grandson got my jutsu. He gonna put his own little spin on it, But yeah, I love that Boruto has the Flying Rising. I love that. And I'm pretty sure majority of the fan base of the Boruto fan base out there, they love that he got it as well. Cause man, they was talking about, man, the Flying Thunder God need to come back and yada yada yada, and the fact that his grandson got it and not some random random shinobi makes it all the more better, man. So yeah, I'm excited to see how Boruto he takes it up a notch, put his own little spin on it, even though he says, oh, I got limitations on it, or it's not as good as my grandfather, but Boruto he's still gonna put his spin on it. So I'm excited to see how he does that, man. And shout out to the flying rising technique, man. Then I just wanna the next one. I just want to talk about Genjutsu, because I just like Genjutsu, man, because it affects the opponent. It affects them mentally. Like, take case in point, one of the greatest Genjutsu masters, Uchiha. The way he used Genjutsu, it was crazy, man. Because when he used it against Kakashi, he had Kakashi in the I think it was the Tsukuyomi, that is old. It feels like an eternity in this mug, but it's only like 5 minutes. So he had Kakashi, man. Kakashi was like, he was in pain, but it was a Genjutsu. Then when he had made Sasuke keep reliving his parents' death over and over again, I was like, yo, that's kind of cruel. But you're like, oh man, it's still kind of like how you could just mentally manipulate somebody to alter their reality, and how, like, I just like that, man. That whole thing is like, you ain't even gotta physically do nothing, because they tell you all the time, soon as you see Itachi, and soon as he open his eyes, don't look directly in his eyes. They tell you that in the show, because as soon as you look into his eyes, the Genjutsu is locked in. You're done. So I just like how Genjutsu, man. And then you got Madara in the 4th Great Ninja War. He enacts the Infinite Tsukuyomi, to where he's like, oh, basically you forcing peace, and you got everybody, in this infinite dream that just keeps going and going, so the whole aspect of Genjutsu, man, I just love it, and how, like I said, you don't even have to physically, attack the person. You could just look into their eyes, and they can lock it in on you. So I like that, man. I like Genjutsu, man. And yeah, it's one of those, man. And then you got Itachi, he pulling it out. He do it so smooth. How about when him and Sasuke was battling? He did the whole, the whole finger thing, the infamous finger, and then Sasuke, bro, he had Sasuke straight bamboozled the whole, because Sasuke thought, oh, I got the upper hand in the battle, da 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 da. But then Itachi did the fingers, and he was like, nah, bro, you I have the upper hand. I had the upper hand the whole time. You thought you had the upper hand, but it was really me. So yeah, man, because if somebody's not, if they're not aware, or they don't have no info about Genjutsu or what to look out for with Genjutsu, you can trick somebody quick and easy with Genjutsu, man. So yeah, it's one of those ones, man. You got to, when you facing a Genjutsu, user, you have to be very cautious. Very, very cautious, man. Then my next one, I want to talk about the Chidori. The Chidori, man. It's a lightning jutsu that Kakashi, he made and passed it down to Sasuke, and Sasuke passed it down to Sarada. Now they say the Chidori is supposed to be used for assassinations. It's not just take it out. Nah, you use it for assassinations, and you can still use it without the Sharingan, but without the Sharingan, you're not going to be able to. You're going to go in a straight line, and you're not going to be able to dodge when somebody else coming in. You're not going to be able to dodge oncoming attacks with it. So for you to get the full, experience of the Chidori, you have to have the Sharingan, because if you don't, it leaves you open to a nasty counterattack, So you can still use it without the Sharingan active, because we seen Sarada use it without the Sharingan active, but she was lucky. But normally they say don't use it first of all until you get your second Tome in your Sharingan. And so it's one of those jutsus where you have to have everything for it to really go smooth. Sarada just got lucky that one time she used it when I think it was in the time skip, she used it 2 blue vortex. So we've seen Sasuke use it. One of the dopest scenes that we've seen Sasuke pull out the Chidori was in Naruto the Last, when he pulled it out to save the meteor that was crashing towards Earth. A big chunk of the meteor that was crashing towards Earth, and he come out of nowhere and just hits it and obliterates it. He did it right in front of Kakashi, and he just flexed. It's like, if Naruto ain't around, only one that can protect the village is me. And and so yeah, man. And then seeing Sasuke, after Kakashi passed it down to him, you see Sasuke pass it down to Sarada, and you see her use it, like I said, in the 2 blue vortex, and you also see in part 1 of Boruto, she used it against Boro when she was able to finally get his core. So yeah, man, the Chidori, from Kakashi to Sasuke to Sarada, man. So it's kind of been passed down, kind of like similar to the Rasengan. So yeah, man, just some of my favorite Naruto jutsus out there. But before I get out of here, I gotta ask the people out there, what are some of your favorite Naruto jutsus? What are some of your favorite Naruto jutsus? Let me know. And that's gonna do it for me today, guys, the host of the Variety Pack Podcast. I'm Rashad, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. I am out of here. Peace.